everyone, welcome back to Scented Moments channel. My name is Jolima and today I will do my top 10 most daring fragrances in my collection. And like all top 10s, I will do my top 5 niche and top 5 designer. And yes, there are some daring designer fragrances out there, and as daring I'm referring to a more challenging, more bold, not very pleasing. You will not please anyone with these fragrances. And these are just 10 fragrances that I think are the most daring in my collection, but there are tons of daring fragrances out there. So let's just start my list. First, I will mention, and I will not mention in any specific order also because I think these are daring in their own way. First, I will mention a fragrance from the house of LALIQUE, and the fragrance is ENCRE Noir à l'Extrême. Love this one. And of course, I really do love these fragrances. If I didn't, so I would not have them in my collection in first place, but this one has a balsamic, smoky, dry vetiver note here. It's amazing. This for me, it's a masterpiece. This is the best bang for your buck. You can purchase this fragrance in the online discounters for a 100ml bottle, brand new, between 30 to 40 euros. So I think you can't beat that price tag, and the quality here, it's amazing. Beautiful fragrance. Of course, you will not please anyone, and it's not the most appealing fragrance out there, but it's masculine, it's mature, and you will be noticed with this one. LALIQUE ENCRE Noir à l'Extrême, starting the designer side. Now, second, I will mention a fragrance from the house of Tom Ford, and the fragrance is Black Orchid. Man, this is, now I think this is marketed as a unisex fragrance, but this is quite daring. Man, I love this one, but this has dark chocolate, has truffles, has patchouli, it has amber, I mean, you name it. A lot of things going on here. It's very complex, but yet for me it's so seductive, mature, gentlemanly, and it can be also worn by a very elegant woman. Love this one, but again, you will not please everyone with this one, at least in my experience. It's very dark, so again, try this one first. Black Orchid by Tom Ford. Now next, I will mention a fragrance from the house of RASASI, and the fragrance is YUQAWAM pour Homme. This one, for me, it's the only clone that replaces the original, which is Tuscan Leather. What? I'm sorry, Tuscan Leather lovers out there, but this one for me makes Tuscan Leather not worth having in the collection. You get more juice for less cost, so I think it's a winner. The quality, it's the same. The only difference is that this has a more raspberry note in the opening, a more prominent raspberry note. Other than that, I think they are very similar, and this is amazing also. Love this one. It's one of my favorite leather-based fragrances, but again, quite daring. This is a beast mode fragrance, borderline beast mode. My girlfriend hates this fragrance, so you can already see that this will not be for everyone, but nonetheless deserves a very special mention. YUQAWAM pour Homme. Check this one out if you love leather-based fragrances. Now, next I will mention a fragrance from the house of Gucci, and the fragrance is Gucci Intense Oud. Now, I think it's not the most daring fragrance from Gucci. I think the most daring fragrance from Gucci is Gucci Guilty Absolute. Man, that's a leather-based fragrance, but it's so daring. I really like that one, but I don't see myself wear that fragrance in a lot of occasions. But nonetheless, I will purchase a bottle when I find a good deal. This one, on the other hand, I think it's more appealing, has a more appealing touch, but it's still daring. This is inspired by Black Afghano. As you all know, it's from the house of Nasomato. This one has incense and it has wood, although I don't know if it's wood really. I think it's more of the dark woody accord, but nonetheless it's quite balsamic, also dark. But from all of this is the one that got me the most attention. I already got quite some compliments with this one, but for me this works quite well in the office scenario, although go low with the trigger on this one because you might fill a room with this one. But nonetheless, I think this is very mature. Again, it's very gentlemanly, it's very masculine. Love this one. Gucci Intense Oud, worth checking out. One of the best fragrances from the brand Gucci. Now, finishing the designer list, again from the house of Tom Ford, the fragrance is Tom Ford Noir Eau de Parfum. As you can see from the bottle, this is a dark fragrance, but although this has a powderiness, this has iris, so hence the powdery feel. This has patchouli, it has leather, very prominent, and it has a smoky note also. It's quite daring. I think this one is the most daring designer fragrance in my collection, and nonetheless I really do like this one. Very underrated from the house of Tom Ford. You will not please everyone with this one, and even in occasions I think this is not very versatile. Nonetheless, worth checking out. Tom Ford Noir Eau de Parfum. Now, let's start the niche list. First, I will mention a fragrance from the house of AMOUAGE, and the fragrance is Interlude, the Blue Beast. And I love this one. AMOUAGE, it's my favorite niche brand, and of course, it's quite daring. The house itself has quite daring offerings, and this one, it's no exception. This has an ashy feel. This has incense, myrrh, woody notes. It has oud. It's quite daring, but I love it. Not for everyone though. Try this one first, sample it, but amazing. Of course, Blue Beast, Beast Mode. Of course, it has amazing performance. Featured on my top 10 Beast Mode fragrances or long-lasting fragrances. Interlude man, starting the niche list. Now, next I will mention a fragrance from the house of RAMON, and the fragrance is Tea Habanero. Featured on my top 10 best tobacco fragrances. This is my most daring tobacco fragrance. It has tobacco, of course, and has the most skanky oud. I mean, this is quite animalic, quite daring, again, very bold, not to be worn everywhere, and you will not please everyone at all. If you will please even one person, I highly doubt that. But nonetheless, this is worth checking out from the artistic side. Love this one though. Amazing fragrance, very long lasting. Tea Habanero by RAMON, amazing fragrance. Now, next I will mention a fragrance from the house of HOMME MONEGAL, and the fragrance is Ocean Oud. Featured on my top 5 best oud fragrances. It took me quite some time to enjoy this one because this has a old man's breath, so not that pleasing at all. Of course, it has oud, a fantastic natural smelling oud with sea salt accord. So not the most pleasing fragrance you can imagine, and this is quite dark, so try this one first. Very long lasting also, but nonetheless fantastic oud. If you love oud, try this one, Ocean Oud by RAMON MONEGAL. So next I will mention a fragrance from the house of Histoire de Parfum, and the fragrance is Édition Rare AMBRAREM. I mean, just look at the color of the liquid inside. Featured also on my top 10 best amber fragrances. This is a gem, a hidden gem. Oh, I love this one. This has amber and it has a lot of castoreum, so it's quite animalic. Also, it has a touch of oud and it's beautiful. I mean, it's so good. so well balanced nonetheless, but you need to love animalic notes to enjoy this one. But the amber here makes the animalic be more cozy and gives a more appealing touch. Nonetheless, you need to sample this one first, don't blind buy this. But it's a hidden gem of amber. Love this one. Histoire de Parfum, very long lasting. Also check this one out, it deserves the attention. Now last but certainly not least, it's from the house of Sarah Baker Perfumes, and the fragrance is, of course, Jungle Jezebel, created by Miguel Matos. I already did a review of this fragrance, so check that review out if you have yet to. Wow, this fragrance is so daring. I love the opening, it's so unique. Well, the fragrance is very unique, but I love the opening because it has this banana note, this candy sweet banana in the opening. After 5 minutes, you have a very prominent note of civet. This is very animalic, but nonetheless, as you might know already if you saw the review, this for me smells like the wildest, filthiest, and yet sexiest sex. Check this one out if you have yet to. Jungle Jezebel, worth checking out. And Jungle Jezebel finish my niche list. Guys, hope you enjoyed this list. Tell me what's your most daring fragrances from your collection, and see you in the next video. Take care, guys. Ciao.